right. I think we're all here. Check, check, check. 1, 2. You guys hear me?
I hear you.
All
Yeah,
right.
we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you. It sounds good.
Good.
All right. Well, everybody, welcome. This is the Southwest Florida TechNet, and luckily, I had the last hour today was pre-recorded, so I was able to get home a little early and actually eat my dinner before I came on the air. So that's
Nice.
yeah, it's nice to split up 6 hours of broadcasting. So anyway, there you go. We record when a certain guest is on. He has to record early, so we record him between 4 and 5, and then we go to the show. Okay, we are live on YouTube. If anyone doesn't want their voice or their likeness to be broadcast all over the world on YouTube, I ask that you just don't come in. You can watch along in Zoom or YouTube. But if you turn your camera or your microphone on, then you will be captured and put on YouTube. Okay, tonight we are going to do the hexagonal beam, and I got to tell you, I spent all week here working on this because I've never had one, and I wanted to learn more about it and find out more about it. So what I did was I spent the week learning about it and putting together a slideshow and everything to talk to you
Then
guys
I'm sure
about
you
it.
know what this is.
There you go. There's your base plate.
Yep.
Yep, which is about 80 or 90 bucks probably, and I suggest buying one, rather than trying to make one. Also, your standoffs, you might buy those too. They're about 200 bucks. There's and we're going to discuss all this tonight as we get into this. So there's a lot to this, and we're going to discuss it. Before we get into that, I want to mention I've been doing a lot of FT8 this week. I've got 9,100 contacts right now, and I've got a little deal going with myself. I'm trying to make 10,000 contacts by the end of the year. So I've been working the bands up and down every day trying to make contacts, and I've made about 80 or so today. I've been working a lot of 80 late at night, and although it's not an unusually long band, it's been doing really good late at night. And 40 has been fun. 20 this morning, I got on 20 a little earlier than I normally do, and I hit Australia. Just like that, boom. FT8, not voice, but I hit Australia, and it was really cool. So you never know what you're going to get. I was kind of running that gray line, you know. Anyway, and then I will tell you guys, we have been seeing some pretty wide openings on 15 and even 12 sometimes in the afternoon. So just wanted to put that out there for everybody. We're hearing a TV or something in the background. I don't know what it is. I'm just letting everybody know. All right. No, there's gone. Okay. There we go. Let's see here. Tonight, does anybody have anything on propagation from the last week?
6 has been open a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, in the afternoons. I keep, it's open a little bit now, but only from like Tennessee area and up towards Chicago. But this morning, I keep DX maps on and I keep it switched to 50 megs on the monitor up the top there, so I can keep an eye. I did a shout out twice on FT8, but nobody came back to me. But there was a guy making contacts up into the Midwest over on the East Coast, but it didn't appear we could get it here from the West Coast of Florida. That was today and yesterday, during the day.
Yes, 6 and 10 seem to do their best work in the middle of the day, whether it's magic band or regular propagation. But I will tell you guys that I've left my 6-meter beam up because we've got a little mini magic band season that comes right around Christmas.
Yeah.
So we're going to be watching that. We're going to be doing magic band updates for the next month or so. Maybe
from any time now onwards.
Right.
Anytime, it seems to be after Thanksgiving. It's like the weather up north, you know, like everything's good until Christmas, and then the weather knows it's Christmas, so after Christmas it turns to gaga or goo-goo, whatever you want to call it. At least like the magic band seems to wait for Thanksgiving and then opens up until maybe, if we're lucky, the middle of January. That's my kind of impressions anyway from here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it up here. The right now At night, there's nothing going on. There's a little bit in South America, but really nothing. But over on the day side right now, it's wide open on 6 meters from New Zealand into Eastern Australia right now.
Yeah, there you go.
And also, there's people making contacts from New Zealand all the way up to Japan. And there's a lot of stuff in Japan. So it that 6, when it runs, it does run, and you can actually see the cloud. I ask you guys, if you're ever watching the PSK Reporter and you're looking for magic band stuff, you need to look for where all the lines cross, and that's where that magic reflective cloud is, and that's where you got to shoot your beam. All right, let's see here. What else is going on? I don't know of anything else going on. I did get the newsletter out this morning. We'll be going through that in just a little while once we get the main topic out of the way. Does anybody have any announcements or anything right up front they'd like to talk about?
You don't forget the swap shop tomorrow.
Yes, I have that later on, but we'll do it now too. The swap shop is tomorrow. I plan to be there, but I'm not sure. I got a sick wife and a sick mother. No, I'm not one sick mother. I have a sick mother. I didn't make sure you guys heard that right.
Yeah.
But no, and my back's out. So between it all, there's nobody healthy over here until you get down to cats. So yeah, it's pretty rough right now. It's not good. I'm telling you guys, I haven't shaved in a week and a half. I just don't
cats
care.
Can't cook and wait on you guys.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're their house cleaning staff, so that's not going to happen. But anyway, yeah. So I decided I was talking to Rick the other day, and we both have kind of an affinity for the hexagonal beam antenna. And I wanted to just mention before we get into it that Joseph may or may not be in tonight. He's in the process of moving. He's in Huntsville right now unloading trucks. So if he makes it in, that's great. If he doesn't, I am prepared to both pilot and navigate this evening. So, all right, let's see here. So I got talking to Rick last week, kind of after the net, about the hexagonal beam, and I believe he's putting one together right now. So I thought, well, this would be a good topic for tonight because I want one too. And if you have one and I don't, I'm probably envious. I actually think right now that the hexagonal beam all around is the best HF antenna you're probably going to find, at least for 20 and up. It gets really big and cumbersome above 20. And we'll discuss all that later too. But for 20 through 6, or at least 20 through 10, there's different schools of thought on 6. A lot of people are saying it doesn't work well with 6 when you string it up with all the other bands. I don't know, but
I went with the 20 through 10. I had a friend up in Atlanta who's got this same model. This is the KIO hex beam I've got here. I went ahead and bought the whole thing, but he said that it did not. If you put 6 meters in here too, it would interact with the 12 meter. I thought,
yes.
well, I would like to have it to be fully, capable at HF. I've got a 3-element 6-meter beam anyway, so I'll put that up separate.
Yeah, I've kind of already decided to not put the 6 in mine either because I have a really nice 6-meter beam. It's a 5-element beam, so there's just no sense in me putting 6 meters in this thing. But because it does interact with some of the other bands that are down near it. It also gets the spacing gets really tight down there, and it becomes a lot more critical when the more wires you put on it. I'm actually looking myself at a 20 through 10, just like you are, and we're going to go through all those options. I want us to, if there's no other announcements or nothing else anyone who wants to talk about, Rick and I are going to take you on a little journey here through the hexagonal beam antenna. And let's see here. All right, here's our first slide. Everybody can see that all right? All right. Okay, we're going to discuss tonight the hex beam. Why the hex beam? What's a hex beam? Construction material options for the hex beam, and step-by-step build instructions. And then we're going to also talk about information on purchasing one instead of making one. I'm a home brewer. But let me tell you something. Even if you buy this thing, it's still, you got to put it together. There's still a lot of homebrew here.
There's going to be a lot for me to do.
Yeah, there's still plenty for you to do, even if you
I
buy
gotta
the
start
$1,000
bringing the
one. That's
spreaders.
yeah. So we're going to talk about all that because what's neat about this is you can buy the kit, or you can buy just just the cheese and pepperoni, whatever you want. And we're going to discuss all that in a little while so that you can see exactly what you want, how far along you want to go. Like the base plate, I buy that every time.
Yeah.
The separator pieces that go up, fiberglass, they need to be a certain tension, a certain strength, this and that, yada yada yada. They're 200 bucks.
Yeah.
That's probably the only other thing I'd buy. Everything else I can get locally or I can build myself. But those two things specifically, and we'll talk about that. Um, let's see here. Let me get back to this page. I think, therefore, I am. You guys know that's my little saying here. And embrace the hobby and all its wonder and delight. And don't get bogged down in the politics. God knows we all hate politics right now. All right. Tonight we're going to talk about several different designs. This is a homemade one right there that you're looking at. It's completely homemade. It's on a ladder.
Huh.
It's an extension ladder. He's got it mounted on that. He puts the ladder up. He puts standoff. He puts the cable, the guy wires down from the ladder, and he's got his beam up there stuck in the only hole of sky that he has. And what a neat thing that he built there. And that's all a homemade one. And I don't think he has a lot of bands on there. I think it's just a few. You can make one just for 17 if you're a CBer. Okay, let's see here. I don't think you can mix 17 with 15. What is it? What 15, 18? When you get CB in there along with the 3 or 4 that we want to put in there, they're too close together.
You're talking about 11 meters then.
11 meters. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say,
you cannot put, I said the wrong, I'm bad with numbers, guys. You have to forgive me. But the 11 meters CB, you can't really get it in there. It's too close to 10. And then, of course, you got 12 right there. And it's just, the wires are like this close together, and they're going to interact with each other. And again, it wouldn't work. But you can build one just for CB, and it should work for 11 meters. Or whatever I'm calling it this week. All right, tonight we'll look at a great design by this guy, EI7BA, and he's the one that sent this picture, and a build plan by these guys. And I actually have that on the downloads page, so you'll be able to download that tonight, and I'll show you just how to get to it, so you can download your own build instructions. I was going to make build instructions, found these, said not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, no point in that.
No point in it at all. Okay. What's a hex beam? A hex beam, or it's also called a hexagonal beam, is a type of directional antenna for HF. It's just a 2 compact element beam folded back so that it occupies less space. You have to look at this thing as a fancy Yagi. It really is just a fancy Yagi. And instead of the elements coming straight out, you have a driven element and you have a reflector in the back. There's no directors. It's just a driven element and the reflector in the back, and the reflector is bent around this way, and the the driven elements are in like a V, and you can see it right up here in this diagram. This is such a cool thing. This to me is like the space age antenna. We've arrived. This is it here, and if it doesn't work, you can stretch fabric over it and use it as an umbrella. But it doesn't it look like an umbrella that got caught in the wind?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, some people actually call it. It's also called a wire beam antenna, and also an upside down umbrella antenna. So it can be called all different things, but the hex beam is kind of what ham guys have settled on calling it. It may also sometimes be known as a W antenna, referring to the shape of the driver. So there's 5 names right there that you can call this thing. I suggest hex beam.
The original version was 2 W's.
Yes, it was. And we're going to discuss that on the next slide, I believe. Yeah. There was the hex beam, and then there's the broadband hex beam, which is what you're looking at right here. In the original one back here, these went up and down just like the front ones. It was totally different. So but when you go to this design, it's 20 meters, it's 3 foot wider. But that 3 foot, okay, makes it to where it's a lot easier to make, because all these wires here don't have to be strung up and back out again. And I'll show you that in the next one. You can build it as a multi-band, or you can build it for specific bands. I'm thinking about doing, I'm not going to be able to afford to buy this stuff to build this for a while until I get a big job or a big production deal or something. So, and you know how it is in my business. One year I make big money, and the next year I'm barely getting by. It all depends on what work comes by that I can get. So for right now, I'm probably going to build me a 10, 12, 15 out of common stuff. I'm going to build it out of and I'll show you in just a minute, but I'm going to build it out of a wood buck, like off a wire spool.
Yeah.
And I'm going to build it short. It's not going to be that big, because it's only going to go up to like 12 or 15. It's going to be a little one. But anyway, so let's go to the next slide here. You can build your own. Why a hex beam? Well, here's the big thing about the hex beam. If you're a wire user like me, I got a big old wire strung through the yard. Don't worth the crap. It's all under the trees. This thing is directional. You put it on top of a rotor, and now you're directing and you're excluding. The directing is really, really important. The excluding is really, really important. When you've got a city right behind you, like to me, when I'm shooting north, I've got Fort Myers right behind me. I got North Fort Myers right behind me. I got everything behind me. I have nothing in front of me but woods. So I have a great takeoff, but I got all this noise right behind me. So this thing's something where I can shoot it towards the northeast, and I can exclude all of that local noise that's right behind me, or a lot of it anyway. And so the fact that you can not only push out your transmit range a lot further, bring in your receive range a lot further in front of it, the big point is you can exclude it going in the back. You're taking the energy and putting it all out the front. So you're not really sending much energy out the back when you transmit. And just like that, you're not receiving much of the QRM that's coming in from the back, just because you're near a city or there's a power line nearby. If you got a power line right near the shack like I do, you should be able to, I'm going to be able to aim this thing towards Texas and put that power line right behind me. And I'll be able to hopefully be able to eliminate some noise. You can get 5 or more bands with low SWR. With this new design, with this the new broader band design, you can basically get a really good SWR across the entire band, as long as you've tuned it. Basically, you've cut the length of it so that it's in the middle of the usable band. It's a wide enough bandwidth that you can use this antenna all the way across the whole band without a tuner.
Try to do that on a regular Yagi.
Yeah, or anything for that matter. It's difficult. Yagis, as much as I love them, can be finicky and not as wide as you'd like them to be. This thing has a very wide bandwidth, which I think you can get. In other words, you can get a really good SWR all the way across our legal band where we're allowed to operate. So that's great. Whether you're going to go do FT8, then you want to go from there up and do voice. You won't have to get a tuner. You won't have to do anything. It's all going to work just from there. It's got broadband characteristics, low weight and low wind load. That's nice. Down here, you still need to take this down for storms. It's not going to be something that's going to take 100-mile-an-hour winds, and we'll discuss that in just a second. Construction from general hardware components, yes, with caveats. This thing is, if you're building it for 20 meters, this is something you can't just build with household crap, okay? It's going to have to be a little better than that. It's going to, and we'll get into that too. Ease of adjustment. It's pretty easy to tune this and make it a little tighter, a little looser, and to make adjustments on it. Requires less space to set up and use. This is a huge one for me. I got a big hole right over my house. I'm going to be able to put this thing up in that hole and get it up above the trees, up at 35 feet or so. And that's going to get, I guarantee you, that's going to give me 3 times what I'm getting now on this wire that's stretched underneath the trees. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to get one of these things. Just a couple of questions and answers here. Are the wire links critical? Yeah, if you change the wire length for the reflector on 10 meters by 1 inch, it changes the design frequency by about 130 kilohertz. So it does. It's just like any other antenna. We're going to make it big. We're going to make it a little bigger than we're supposed to. We're going to cut everything a little long, and then we can tune it down. You're much better tuning with a tuner than you are with a tape measure. If anybody'd like to comment on that, I'd appreciate it. No? Am I right? I guess I'm right then. You could tune it with a tape measure, but you're better off with a tuner. How high should the hex beam be? The higher the better for DX generally, as it reduces the takeoff angle for the main RF lobe. However, the hex beam can be quite effective even at modest heights. Everything I've said, 40 feet seems to be pretty much optimum. Higher than that begins to have, what do they call it? Limiting results, I guess you would say.
Diminishing
results. Thank you. Yes, diminishing returns over 40 feet. Under 40 feet, you start to have fairly good drops in performance. However, there was a guy showed one of these that was mounted 3 feet off the ground, and he's out there making contacts all over the world with it.
It was no taller than somebody were using it for a clothesline.
It looked like a clothesline, yeah, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
So British friends would call it a washing line, but
it affects your takeoff angle, and it also eats up some of your juice. But if you can't get it up on a tower, you could sit this thing 5 feet off the ground on a picnic table in your backyard and hook it up.
Yeah,
and it'll work because it doesn't use counterpoise. It's all built into the antenna pretty much.
Yeah.
So the main thing is just getting it away from the ground. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, they don't handle wind that well when you get over about 60 miles an hour.
And they don't handle ice very well either.
Yeah, that one on the right was taken out by a ice storm, I think. And then and possibly the one in the middle too. The one on the left was like hurricane damage.
Yeah.
But they're like anything else. You know, it's a sail up there. Look, the good news is there's no fabric or anything to really catch the wind. Most of the wind flies right through it. But you got to watch out for that. Here's what we were talking about. This is what Rick was talking about. Originally, they called this thing the hex beam or the hexagonal beam. That was this one here. The one I'm suggesting you make is this one over here, which is the broadband hex beam. Notice the difference. They make a big deal. It's 3 feet wider. I don't care. If it gives me a much better SWR all the way across all the bands and better performance even, I'm definitely going to build the one on the right, even though it's a few feet bigger. It's not that big a deal. Anything on this, guys? Rick, have you used the other one or anything about that?
I haven't used the other one. This is my first experience with it too. So I'm just, you know, I'm not going along for the ride. And just, you know, if there's anything I know, I'll pop in here. But yeah, I did want to bring up the original design and then of course the newer design, which is wider banded. The diameter, like you say, there is 22 feet. So your turning radius is like 11 feet from the rotor. So that's how big it is.
Which, if you think about it, it's not crazy. Now, you want one that does 30 and 40. This thing's going to be this thing's going to be over your entire house. It's going to look like somebody's going to think you're putting up a sunshade for your whole house. It goes up to like 43 feet, I think, when you go up to 40 meters.
Yeah.
44 feet. There is kits that big. You can get them. I've never seen one for 80. I don't. That have to be some commercial rig. But
well, that's kind of like my 160 meter J pole. It would be ridiculous.
That's right. Well, or you could also go to orbit on it.
Yeah. You'd have to have FAA approval to put that.
And a blinking red light.
Yeah.
But anyway, the construction of the broadband is easier than the classic because you don't have to stretch all these wires back like this. The wires just go around. And on this one here, you had to have spacers here on both sides, With this one, it comes around and there's just basically an isolator there that's so many inches, and that's in the design plans. You'll see it. There has to be an isolator there to isolate the end of your driven element from the end of your direct reflector element. Okay, let's see here. So basically, guys, this side that is your positive side or your center lead. This would be your, and it doesn't matter which side. This
Yep.
would be
Mark it
your negative lead, or your what do you want to call it? Your jacket, your
Yeah. The shield.
the shielded lead there, and then this back here is your parasitic reflector.
Reflector.
It's not hooked to anything. It's neutral. Okay, any questions on this? All right. Tuning is not that critical because the bandwidth is broader. Reflector drivers and spacers are single loop, making the adjacent. That's what I just told you about that. This is a lot easier than making this because of they separate right at the thing that comes out, and you have to have two separators. With this, you go around through the turn pin, and then you have one separator. It's actually a lot easier to make this one, and you don't have all that turn crap in the back. Okay, let's a quickie. We have already kind of talked about this, but this is basically how a Yagi works, so you guys understand how a Yagi works. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. But basically, you're gonna get most of your feed from the front, and that's the most important thing with this. I think everybody understands the Yagi. This is something you definitely want to use with a rotor, unless you live in a corner of the Earth. It's a flat Earth, so maybe you live in the corner. Boy, that's going back about 8 shows, isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, we don't really think the Earth. Disclaimer: we don't really think the Earth is flat.
Will it make a difference if you're in the left corner or the right corner?
As far as your center lead and your outer lead, it doesn't.
No, the corner of the flat Earth.
Oh no! As long as you're near Antarctica, that way there's nothing behind you.
There you go.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. There we go.
Yeah, because Antarctica goes all the way around the Earth. But over here on the right, that's what the lobe looks like. I want you to notice how flat the back of this lobe is. It's like, don't want it. This is a great lobe. And again, you need a rotor because, and you know when I say you need a rotor, you don't need a rotor. You can turn it yourself if you're putting it up in such a way that the center pole comes down. And you can just go out there and turn. I have stuff I turn manually.
That's the Armstrong
method. Yeah.
Yeah. And what you're supposed to do when you're turning it, you go, and that way you think you got a rotor. Okay. Let's see. Spreaders. This is probably going to be one of the hardest parts of this thing is you got to have spreaders. The spreaders, they recommend against PVC because it's a little heavy. But the other part about PVC is you get too much sag. This needs to be straight, and then it needs to fight against the curve. PVC tends to sag against the curve, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really give you the right shape. You're going to have issues with it. I think if I were going to work with PVC, it would be on the smaller. Like I'm going to build me a smaller one out of 3/4 inch PVC.
Yeah.
But I'm going to build like a 10-12 that I can just play around with. And I'm going to stick it up on top of my dual Yagis at 30 feet and start spinning that around and see what I can hear on it. Fiberglass tubes are recommended for the spreaders. They need to be 136 inches in length for 20 meters. I would base your design on 20 meters. Any bigger than that, it gets crazy. Any smaller than that, you lose 20, which is the band.
Yeah.
Okay. And 20 is resonant with 40, so you can throw a tuner on 20 and you can probably use it with 40 and 80 through a tuner. Your lobe may not be perfect, but it will still work and you'll still get some performance. Now, let's say, what's the best thing for my spreaders? Well, here you go. I think this is probably going to be the best thing for spreaders is to just buy them. They're $200. I am the cheap guy. I do everything on the cheap. You know that. I researched this week. and I could not find a viable alternative. One guy built one out of fishing poles, but it didn't work that well. One guy built one out of PVC, but it didn't work that well. It was, and finally, you know what? Everybody I read got to the bottom and said, just buy the $200 spreaders.
Yeah.
Just buy the $200 spreaders.
That's Max Gain Systems. So I actually happen to know the guy that owns that from Atlanta, and they've got a $150 set which they got on back order. The $200 is already it's already black. So yeah, that's new.
Yeah, there is a couple of options out there that are a little cheaper than this. As far as Max Gain Systems, the only reason I bring them up, no one had as much stuff out there. They have all the parts to build everything. Max Gain Systems.
Yeah.
So I would just check them out and then also price it out. Check eBay. I found a base plate. Well, I'll show you that in just a minute. We're going to get to that. Let's see here. This is the kit. This is the kit. Their kit comes with this. It's one tube into another tube. It's basically 3 tubes.
Yeah.
Each one is graduated down or whatever.
Yeah, that's the way mine is. I think same source.
And there's the link. But like I said, if you just put Max Gain in there, you'll find it. Now let's talk about center plate. You can buy them like Rick did, which is what I would do. $55 right there on eBay. DX Engineering has this one that looks like they used it in like a Transformers movie or something. But that thing's pretty cool, man. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but that thing's pretty cool. So there's some different options out there, all the way from the cheap to the expensive. Or on the left, if you're going to build a smaller one like me, start out with a buck and build it with a wood buck like this. A buck is off the end of a spool. Joe, I don't know if Joe has any extra spools out there. We usually keep the spools, but that's all that is a buck off the end of a spool. I didn't know that's what it was called until I read that this week. It's called a buck.
Buck. Okay, that's a new one for me too.
Me too. You learn stuff on this show.
That's
anyway,
right.
Go ahead. Does somebody have something? All right, guys, anytime you have something, butt in. I don't see hands. I don't see the little fingers. So anytime you have something, I want you to butt in and make sure I don't miss you, okay? All right.
Using the pizza tin as the centerpiece, but I don't think it would be strong enough.
No, well, unless you're building one for 2 meter.
There you go, 2 and 6 or something.
2 meter sideband. Big thing right now. Not.
That's a possibility.
You know what? I've played around with it, and I think there's something to it. I think that we could probably. I think that there's actually stuff to 2 meter sideband. There's actually people on 2 meter sideband. I leave my machine on sometimes on my 40-foot Ringo, and I leave it on upper sideband 2 meter on the 2 meter USB channel, and I'll wake up in the morning and it heard 3 or 4 people overnight. Now, I don't know if I'd have made a contact with them. Most of them were in Florida somewhere. But I just thought it was cool that if you leave it on long enough, it will hear somebody on something. All right. The wire that you're going to use. The Max Gain sells wire that works perfect. I don't know why. Why is my camera blinking? Blink, blink. What are we doing here?
I don't know. You got some kind of flasher over there.
Okay, there we go. Max Gain Systems has this wire that you can buy. It's just basically uncoated, unshielded copper wire. Now, the other option you have is what about using steel wire or aluminum? It does slightly affect your SWR performance. So I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying for some odd reason, it does seem to affect your SWR. It
also affects it. Now, what I've got here is insulated. This is the insulated flex weave stuff, but that's what came with the K4KIO kit, which is what I purchased. So it's going to be a slightly different length. When you use the insulated wire, it has a slightly different velocity factor, so it has to be tuned.
And also, can you use stranded or solid wire? Either is fine. It doesn't matter. The gauge is a little bit important. If you go up or down in gauge, you can also affect your tuning as well. But again, if you make it long and cut it to tune using your analyzer, I tell you guys, if you're building one, call me. I'll come over one weekend and I'll bring mine over and we'll analyze it. The MFJ, yeah, and mine has the joy button for 400. I know yours does too.
Yeah,
These things right here are this is like looking in the mirror and trying to shave. Which side's it on? This thing right here is probably the best thing I ever bought. It is it's an amazing thing for tuning. And when you make this thing, you cut it 3 or 4 inches long, and literally everything's done by tuning. Don't ever make an antenna cut to length. Always cut it long. I don't care if you're making a 2-meter dipole with coat hangers to use with your scanner. I don't care. Tune it. Make it perfect. Cut it 1 inch long, and then go and put it where it's going to be. Bring your antenna tuner as close as you can get to it, and then just start trimming the top and the bottom of that down till you get it tuned perfectly to what frequency you're going to be on. Okay, and like I said, you don't have a tuner, get with us. Rick has one, I have one, Joseph has one. The Nano VOs, the Nano VNAs work. Also the MFJ tuners, and there's also other ones out there that are good too. So definitely get with one of us and we'll help you get that tuned. Insulated wire can be used, yes. And rope, you're going to need to use some kind of rope. Now, I'm going to tell you, in Florida, if you use any kind of just any rope, I had some rope laying around, it's a ticking time bomb. You really need to spend a few dollars and get some of this, the Dacron, however you guys want to pronounce it, the UV.
It's going. That's a 1,000-foot spool. I got one of those headed over here. Also, make sure you use stainless steel hardware. Very important. You know how much it rains in Florida?
Does it? Yeah, it does. No, you're absolutely right. The better you can build this hardened for outside, the better.
Yeah.
And that even includes when you're all done going up there with electrical tape paint or whatever and painting all your connectors, and the whole thing's going to have to be protected from weather. And all this stuff can be bought at Max Gain Systems or at about 20 other shops. I'm not plugging a specific one. I got these pictures from here, and every time I put in parts for a hex beam, their website kept coming up. So I don't know if it's just Google, or maybe they're the leader in it, or maybe it's just Google search results, but that's who kept coming up. So that's why I put the logo there. All right. Let's go this way. How do we make our connections? Well, there's a bunch of different ways, okay? The lower right, that's the lower long picture there with 2 different things. That shows you one way to do it, where you actually put the wire strap or whatever underneath the radiator clamp. Is that what you call those, radiator clamps?
Yeah.
For lack of a better word, I don't know.
Like. Yeah,
I'm a nerd, not a mechanic.
Yeah.
And anyway, you put that under there and you clamp her down, and that gives you, and your wire can run right through there. Look at that, right through there. And then here's your other setup there. This is another way you can do it. You get some tubing, and you can use these little copper straps that you can buy over in the electrical department at Home Depot. And you can copper strap, make a little loop that holds your little piece of what is that? It's probably a fish tank piping, fish tank air hose. And you just put a little 2-inch piece of air hose on there, and there's your insulator. It goes right through. It runs perfectly through there, and it makes a great little insulator. So there's some different ideas there of different ways you can make your connection points. Or if you're buying kit stuff, if you've got money, unlike me, you can buy this stuff all set to go. It comes numbered in a kit and everything. And trust me, on this one, I would buy it if I had the money. Because this one, I'm gonna tell you guys, this is the hardest thing I've ever talked to you guys about building. This is not an easy one to build. But I don't want to discourage you. All right, there's different ways to do the wire. If you're using a piece of PVC, which is what I'm going to probably use, I much prefer putting my antennas on a non-conductive mass. It seems to increase performance quite a bit. You can run your wires. You come down from the top. You're supposed to come down from the top. I guess you can go up the back, or I don't know. It said you're supposed to come down from the top. I don't know. I guess there's you use magic in there somehow.
Yeah.
But anyway, you come down from the top, and then you're gonna hook into your different wires for your different bands. That top one's gonna be 40, whatever, or 20.
It'll be 20 usually.
Yeah, 20, and then going on down, 17, 15,
15.
and then notice 12 and 10 are pretty close down here.
Pretty close together.
This is another way you can do it. This is the way they actually suggest you do it, which is kind of what he did here too. You use coax between your connection points. See that?
Yeah.
Over here, this one's a little harder to see, but they didn't use coax here. It's just like automotive wire or something, which works. But that doesn't look right to me. It's not shielded and all that.
I
like it's
think
supposed
that's
to
coax. It's just the way they've got it all dressed up so that it will withstand the weather.
be. Well, these are like horseshoe connectors, and there's a red wire and a blue wire. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell on that picture. But when your wiring goes on this thing, this is how it needs to go. You need to cut pieces and do it like that. And then when you're all done, you paint the crap out of it with electrical paint, and then come back and spray it with paint, whatever you got to do to protect it. Should you connect the bands with wire or coax? They suggest 50 ohm coax.
Yeah.
Do I need a balun? A balun? Yes, they suggest it's a good idea because the surface current flowing on the exterior of the coax, distorting the radiation pattern. The best price for a ferrite bead balun I have found is there's a suggestion there. There's different ones, or you can just wrap like I do. You just wrap your wire a bunch of times.
You can roll your wire several times, or you can get some ferrite beads. Now, like these guys, this is Leo Shoemaker's model. He sells a kit of beads that you can buy. You don't have to buy anything else. You can buy that. But he sells the kit, but you need to have it. Otherwise, the directional pattern will be distorted. And then you probably got to get RF in the shack and all that.
Something like this work, or does it need to be?
Oh yeah, that's what this is. It's let me see if I can find the kit.
You guys see that? It's a you just put your wire through there. You loop it around one time and close it down.
Yeah, this is the kit.
That's a Ferrite Trap.
Yeah.
You can use these to stop line noise on lines. You could use it to stop distortion on TVs, distortion coming up through your power lines. There's all kinds of different things that it will help.
Gets rid of RF in the shack and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a good deal. It's a really good deal. All right, let's see here. Next thing, actually, I should have turned the screen off so you could have seen me there, but that's all right. You guys know what a ferrite bead looks like. All right, this is just a breakout. This is the same sheet of paper. It's just left and right. This is the bottom half over here. I couldn't fit it all on the screen. This is just kind of a breakout to show you all the different parts that you're going to need. Again, I've got the full how to build it. I'm going to show you how to get to that in just a minute. This shows you how your wires hook up. See how it brings the wire up, and you start at the top and go back down again.
Connect to the top.
And this is a ring that goes at the top to hold all the 6 wires that go out to the ends to hold them up. That can be accomplished probably more inexpensively than that. You could probably just tie the wires up there. You would need to have some way to keep them up there, but you could do it. There's the plate you need to make with the U-bolts, but this shows everything. Here's your measurements. And what I suggest is when you build it, this is all in that guide. My goal tonight was to not have you ready to build when you walk out, but to know if you're going to build or not. And then if you are, I got the guide for you that's got the step-by-step. And there's also videos on YouTube as well. Now, if you want the guide, Here's how you get to it. On our Southwest Florida TechNet website, you'll see the LiveNet tab. And if you hover over that tab, the file share tab will pop down. And if you click on that where it says file share right there, if you click on that, it'll bring up the file share screen. Okay. On this screen, you can download any of these. Okay. There's the Tech Team newsletter archive. If you go in there, it goes only back 3 now, but eventually they'll all be in there because as of three issues ago, everything I do with the TechNet's now on PDF. They're all going to be saved in here. So if you missed something from months ago, you can go back and find it. But here it is right here, the HexBeam complete build. You would just click on that and it would just come right up and you would be all set to go. It's basically, it is in a PDF. Let me see if I've got it here so I can show you.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Of course, this is the.
Let me just see if I can just pull it up here this way. But anyway, yeah, you can check that anytime, that file share page, guys. I put stuff on there that is relevant, that has to do with whatever we're doing on a particular night. And I'll leave things up there for, obviously you can see I leave things up there for a while to make sure that you don't miss it. Okay, so this is our this is what it comes up as when you click it. It'll come up like this, and this here has everything you need to know about how to build this thing. It's amazing. This is a great step-by-step tutorial that explains.
Yeah, they did a hell of a job with this.
They really did, and that's why I said I have built some of these myself for some of my builds. I was not going to reinvent the wheel. These guys deserve it to keep it like it is because they did a really good job here. But here we're going to talk about the base plate, and we're going to talk about but anyway, yeah, it's all in here. Notice it's everything, the template and everything. If you want to build your own. It's amazing, like I said. So I just wanted you guys to see that. That's where you get that. You just go to under LiveNet file share, and you click that button, and it will bring it up down here. And there's some other stuff in here too. There is the quick reference guide, which is a great thing if you're a new ham. It's 4 pages. You can print it out, and it's everything you need to know about ham radio basically in 4 pages. And the ARRI standard lineup, that's a chirp file, so you can blow the ARRI standard lineup. You can download your radio, take this, copy it into your radio's code plug, and then upload it back to your radio again. And there's the SARnet chirp list if you want all those. Yeah. That's for the entire state, listed 1 through 40 or whatever, so they're easy to find. What I did with mine when I programmed mine is I programmed mine Lee, Charlotte, Sarasota, Tampa, all the way to Live Oak and Melbourne. And I did that so that I can just up frequency 1, 1, 1 each time as I'm leaving the state. I just go up. Then when I come back down, I start on the Melbourne, or is it not? It's not Melbourne. It's I can't think of the name of the M town up there. The one right, it's west of the state line up there.
It's like Mariana or
yeah, it's where that guy that's always on SARNet's from, and I can't remember where it is. But anyway, I start there, and I work my way all the way down to where I'm back in Lee County again, and I stay on SARNet, and I dual monitor that with the 2-meter call channel. Okay, so that's that, and that's how you find that. And you know what's weird? I don't remember. Oh, I guess we did do that. Okay, I guess we did. Okay, does anybody have anything on the HexBeam before we move on? Any questions? Anything? Rick's kind of right in the middle of starting to put his together, and I've done some research this week, so pick our brains.
And one of the things that Alan, who's the owner of Max Gain, he's got some instructions in there on how to paint the fiberglass spreaders. That's a necessary thing So that's gonna, and you paint the things with primer and let it sit a couple of days, and then you put on, and then I've got some flat back black paint that I'll put on there, which makes it stealthier. That's another nice thing about these antennas. They're not super visible. It's not like putting up a step IR beam at 65 feet. It's not going to jump out and have the neighbors have a heart attack when they come by and see it.
Yeah, you just blame it. Look, the clothesline, the wind did that. I don't know what happened. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to do ham radio news. And the way I do ham radio news now is we're going to actually take the newsletter. Have you guys had a chance to take a look at that? I did another big one today. I thought it came out pretty nice. I was pretty happy with it. Can you guys see that? All right, let's see here.
This is how I found out you were going to be doing the hex beam tonight. So I brought all the parts in here.
Yeah. Oh, I love the hex beam. We'll talk about it some more towards the end because I think it's kind of one of the futuristic type antennas out there. It's really good. All right, everybody knows about the TechNet because we're on it right now. This weekend, if you're going to be in New Jersey, there's actually an amateur radio auction. There's not much going on right now. Next week in Ocala, there's one. Now, for those of you who are not from Florida or not familiar with the area, Ocala is only 3 hours away. It's not that far away. It's not the end of the world. So that one's coming up next weekend. All right, space weather. We're on a geomagnetic storm watch. The cool thing right now is, and I believe it still is, let me get a live report here. Oh, solar flux is up to 108. It has been in the 70s for weeks, and now it's climbed up into the 80s and the 90s. It was at 96 when I checked it about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Right now, it's at 108. Everything looks really good, and the geomagnetic field is quiet. So we have a pretty good solar flux with a quiet geomagnetic field. Could be some good propagation this evening on 40. And also, if this holds up tomorrow, 15 and 12, 17 could be party time. So yeah, this is a pretty good deal. I'll show you guys this morning when I put this together, we were at 92. So this thing's been going up pretty quick through the day. It's been going up pretty quick. So it all come out of there and boom, here it comes. So there we go. It's now, if the main part of this hits us and creates a large disturbance in our geomagnetic field, that could actually reduce the ability of the radio. So I find it to be very strange. Sometimes when there's big storms, it'll black out some bands while other bands have interesting properties going on and things are happening. So it's not a complete washout, but what you really want is a high solar flux with a stable geomagnetic field. Okay, the solar orbiter is going to buzz the Earth. This is pretty cool. The European Space Agency has a solar orbiter that's on a long solar orbit, and it's going to make a pretty close pass, close enough that you can see it, I believe, with a backyard telescope. It's going to glow like a 9th magnitude star, so it's going to be something different in the sky to see. All right, let's see here. Terrestrial weather, a week of literally Malander weather. I'm talking about a whole week of just nothing, which I guess is fine.
And no hurry.
Okay, swap shop. There it is. This weekend, swap shop tomorrow, 11 to 1. I know that, let's see, Joe will be out there and Charles will be out there, and I'm sure Rick will be out there. I'm going to try to get out there. I've got a lot going on tomorrow and a lot of sick people, but I'm going to try to get out there. Anyway, there's a lot of ham news in here. I'm going to breeze through it. If you want to read more about this, of course, you can go and pull it up in your newsletter. If you don't get a newsletter, send me an email and I'll be glad to put you on the list. The U.S. Virgin Islands are building a stronger radio system. They have this one repeater that survived 2 Category 5 storms. And this repeater ended up being, they were dispatching fire trucks with it. I mean, it ended up being a very important part of the communication one of the only surviving pieces of communication infrastructure on the island. And so they've gotten a grant now, and they're going to be putting up some better repeaters and some more infrastructure that'll hopefully withstand these kind of storms. But I just thought that was really cool that through 2 Category 5 storms, they had a ham repeater that stayed up and was being used. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, and also in Haiti, there's receiving a grant down there, and they're trying to get some increased infrastructure down there as well. And the Orlando Hamcation is coming up on December 15th. Again, Orlando's about 3 hours away. Please, for God's sake, don't drive up I-75. Who goes that way? Oh my God. Look, I'm just going to show you guys right now. Okay, I hate to do this, but you know, sometimes you just have to do things. I want to show you guys something. Let's say we're taking a trip, right? And let's say we're in North Fort Myers. And okay, here we go. We're in North Fort Myers, and we're going to want to take a trip now to let's say Orlando. Okay. Now I want you to show you the routes that it offers me.
Oh yeah, Google Maps.
Look at the routes that it offers me, guys. It's the same time. Look at the mileage difference.
Man, that is a good bit. That's about 40 miles difference.
Yes, that's why I tell people. And you get to see beautiful Florida this way.
Yeah, that's the real Florida going up that way.
Exactly. This is the way to go. And I actually usually come up 75 to 17 and take 17 up. And something we do when we go up, I'll go up 75, 17, and I'll take 17 all the way up to 27. On the way back, I'll get on 27 and I'll take 27 through Sebring, Lake Placid, Avon Park, all beautiful places, and come down to Palmdale and come across there, or even come down here and come home this way. It's a few miles further, but you get to see a lot of Florida this way. And so we go up one way completely and come back a different way completely. It's there's a part of it it's all different up and all different back going to Orlando. And look at the difference, man. It's like 30 something, 40 miles difference. When you go on the interstate, you have to go all the way over to Ruskin right here. Look how far over you are west of that.
Yes, yeah, that's out of the way.
That's crazy. And people are like, oh, I like interstate. I like interstate. This is good road. 17's pretty good road. There's a lot of little speed traps in towns. Bowling Green, for instance, big speed trap. But 27, on the other hand, 4 to 6 lanes all the way. Beautiful road. Five speed trap towns, not that big a deal. Sebring, Lake Placid, Avon Park, Haines City, and God, I can't think of the last one. It's right here. Lake Wales. I love this part right here. This is just this part of Florida right here. This is real. This is real Florida out here. Anyway, all right, enough of that, guys. I just wanted you guys to see the difference in travel time between here and there. My God, don't take the interstate. Ugh. Okay, anything else on that? All right.
I got a quick one.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to be working on Thursday, Friday morning, and Sunday afternoon at the Orlando, at the Hamcation. I will be on the, I'm working the RVs and the trunk, whatever it's called, you know, the tailgating.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
So, just let you know.
Georgia called the boat yard.
Yeah, but they're always looking for guys, and it's good fun. So I'll be working there, getting all the RVs in and everybody into their spots on the Thursday, Friday morning, and Sunday afternoon, getting everybody out. So it's not a bad deal. You get free entry, and they feed you for the whole weekend.
Nice.
So, but it's good
That's
fun.
The way
You get
it should be. When you're volunteering for an event like that to help out, you shouldn't have to pay to get in the event. We're having that
No.
issue down here right now with a group.
Well, yeah, but we're a lot smaller, and probably half the people will be members, won't they? You know,
Yeah, yeah.
Hamcation, they're expecting close on 30,000 this year.
Wow.
So, yeah. It was 27 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I only worked the Thursday. I'm working a little more this year. But they were expecting, initially it was like 24, but the pre-bookings, for all the spaces outside and the flea market inside and everything, the bookings, and we've still got 2 months to go, are way up. So they're changing their estimate because they have to have a pretty reasonable estimate to let the guys know we're doing the food. And it's been voted the best food. It's the second largest ham fest in the country. Dayton is the first one. But the food is deemed to be better. But I mean, that's that's kind of a kind of personal thing. But they have to have their estimates about right to get these guys, set up so they know what to bring and what to do. You don't want too much, so you throw it away, but you don't want too little, so no one can eat.
Yeah, I saw that happen one time. I was at a small little convention, 6 or so hundred people, and one of the meals they just didn't order near enough food, and I'll tell you what, it causes a riot.
Yeah.
When there's not enough food. And anyway, all right. Well, anything else on that?
No, I'll keep you up to date. I get a newsletter every couple of weeks now. I was getting one every month, and now all the volunteers will get a newsletter every week. And from, I think, between Christmas and New Year, they'll pretty much know everybody is going there. At the moment, there are 9 new vendors.
Wow.
So that's vendors that have never been there before. So,
And of course, you got a new HRO store that's just opened up in that area.
yeah, that's not going to be open, evidently.
Yeah.
It's, that was the last newsletter. Yes, about 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
So,
Flew in from Atlanta.
But if everybody wants to volunteer, there's still work to be had. More hands make light work,
All right. Let's see here. The next thing I had for you guys was this week's funny boners. I thought this one was great on the left. This is what other people think of you. This is what your friends think of you, what your wife thinks of you. And I always thought it's funny because you're like in some evil thing that's going on there. But I just thought this was great because your kids think you're some old guy that's playing with some box with a wire. And you think you're really cool. But this is what's really going on. We're sitting around talking about radio. I just thought that was pretty cool. But this one I fell in love with. I told him it's me or the radios, and he replied 7 3s and he left. I don't know. I'm just saying. I love these. I really do. All right. The mystery of the week. I'm going to try to do this for you guys. I don't know if it's going to work. Let me switch my audio feed here a little bit. This is a great mystery. This is a station that's been broadcasting for decades, and no one really knows exactly what it does. But it's weird because it seems to. Let me see. Can you guys hear me now? Check 1 2 1 2. I think it's not working.
Turn it up a little bit.
Is it low? Hold on. Let me get over to here. All right. 1 2 1 2. How about now? Does that work?
It works, but you're lower than you were.
Okay, I understand. Okay. All right, what I'm going to do is I'll turn it back in just a minute, but I want to play this for you guys. I want you guys to hear what this ghostly sound sounds like out there. No, I'm not actually.
You got a boy, yeah. Goodbye.
Get off my
Yeah,
TV.
anyway.
You guys hear that?
I don't hear anything.
I
I hear
figured.
any sound.
Nothing.
That figures. I have the hardest time getting this thing to play sounds. Okay, so we won't be able to hear it.
Hold on a second.
Nope.
What's the frequency?
You mean you need an URL? The buzzer breakdown. Let's go say it says like WWV.
What's the frequency, Ian?
UVB76, the buzzer.
4625. Okay. 4625.
Sounds like I'm in a state.
All right. That was a breakdown that happened that they captured. Did you hear that? How it kind of went out?
Yeah, I kind of went
Yeah.
drunk.
Yeah. It was. It kind of sounded like the siren when Roscoe P. Coltrane's car would go in the water. Um, but anyway, what
Sounded like
Dukes of
Vladimir's got a
Hazard stuff
crazy
not
electric
working?
shaver.
All right. Yeah, that one. This is an odd one. This particular, there's a lot on this. I've got the link in the newsletter um, for you guys because there's actually a lot of information on this particular thing, um, and you guys can go in and find that if you go into your newsletter and go right here to the mystery of the week. It's right there's your link. But then down here, enjoy the full length read. It's a very I keep hearing something like chewing or there's a noise, guys. I don't know what it is. Um, if let's see here. You could click right down here, and basically what happens is you get this full like 10-page report on this thing, and it talks all about it. But you can pick this up from on your own receiver, supposedly. Now, there is a way to get this live, and I've got it here. I just got to find it real quick. I think I put the link here at the end. There it is. There's the link. If you take this link right here, we'll be able to see if it's on live right now. Let's see. You put this into your browser. And it comes up, and let's see if we hear anything. I can't hear it now. All right, I'm going to switch it over so you can hear it. It's probably not going to be anything, but let's see here. All right, were you guys able to hear anything on there?
It's noise.
Yeah. This picks it up. It says it works better when it's night over there. So I don't know what the deal is, but this feed is, you know how I found this feed? I went looking for went to one of the my SDR stations over there. You guys know WebSDR?
Yeah.
.com. Or no, it's not .com. It's WebSDR.
.org or something like that. Maybe
stop it! God bless it, computer. I'd like to just beat Bill Gates around the head and shoulders. Okay, it's websdr.org. But yeah, you go into here and you can take that frequency. What was that frequency? Anybody remember what it was? Oh.
4625.
4625. You put 4625 in, and then it'll show you. Oh, I'm sorry, that's megahertz. So we got to put a period in here. And that'll show you all the receivers in the world that'll pick up that frequency. And then I zoomed in to one of these over here, and I clicked on it, and that's where I actually got that link. I think it was from this one. If you guys haven't played with these web SDRs, I take my web SDR and I take my virtual cable and I plug that in through my virtual cable into my FT8 on this computer, and then I'm using FT8 on this computer, and I see which stations I can hear myself on. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with these SDRs. They're a lot of fun.
Solar index was up to 108 on that one.
Yeah, it's cranking right now. Yeah, it's at 108 now on this one too. The hell? My God, this one shows you the entire freaking spectrum all at one time. Holy Christ. All right, well.
46. Yeah, you had the thing on there. Yeah, that's it. Buzzer UVB 76.
Yeah, I don't see anything on that slot right now. But anyway, when this thing's on, and it is on, the neatest thing about this is sometimes apparently it says things like it will talk to you. It'll say like it's kind of Cold War-ish, because it'll say things like, you know, Farmer Jack did this or something in Russian, and it'll then give out like 3 sets of 5 numbers, and then it will go back to that tone for 4 days. And yeah, it's a weird thing. And who knows what it is, but if I was going to guess what it would be, um, my guess would be it's practice post-war espionage, post-Cold War espionage. Let me follow me. And I did not read this anywhere. Um, if you were going to be training people out in the woods of Siberia to be able to operate post-nuclear war and to be able to take signals from a low band transceiver somewhere, okay, this would be how you would do it. And they would send codes, and these codes would go over the signal, and then you would decode them using your decoder book or whatever. I think this is nothing but just a training aid for their Cold War stuff. That's what I'm thinking it is, because they give out codes and number bits, and then the rest of the time it's just like this time beacon going off. I almost think the time beacon that you hear, the beacon that you hear, is basically so that the troops in the field can know that they're tuned in on the right frequency. And then all they have to do is listen to that frequency at the right time, and they get their message. And then when they get their message, they can decode the whatever it is that they're doing. But it's, there's tens of thousands of followers of this thing. It's got a following both in and out of amateur radio of people who find it very interesting and can't understand what it is or how it works. So I just thought I thought it was very interesting stuff, and I wanted to bring that to you guys' attention today.
Too bad Art Bell isn't still around.
This would be one for the Art Bell show. I can tell you that right now. And I wouldn't completely. I believe they've probably done it. I mean, they've done such a wider range of things. They may have already done it. All right, the project of the week. We've already done this on the show for some of you guys. But my project for the week was the Yagi. Basically, build your first Yagi, and built it out of a tape measure. And this was a neat build that we did here on the show, and I've got the link back to that episode if you want to watch it. But that's our build of the week. If you think you can't build an antenna, this is something you can build with the list of parts right here. It doesn't take much. It's very, very simple to build, and the instructions are right here on this net of the on this episode of the TechNet. And this is something you can build and throw it on a tripod. And when you need to talk on a certain net that you can't get to, you go stick this thing out on your car and you shoot it towards that net. You go set your tripod out back on something or whatever, and you can see it out on the net. Are you guys talking to me? Am I hearing something? All right, I'm just making sure I didn't screw my sound up here. Let's see, headphones, microphone. Oh, it looks right. Okay, and then you've got, so that's the build of the week. The this week's contest is the CQ. I don't know where my C went; it disappeared. But the CQ Worldwide DX contest is this weekend. I don't do CW, so I don't know anything about this. But if does anybody want to talk about this?
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And you know what it sounds like to me? Gobbledygook.
Yeah.
My computer knows what they're saying, though.
Well, at that speed, I use the computer to decode.
Yeah.
If you enter that, you use a CW decoder, you've got to go into the assisted category, which I'll do. So I'll probably play with this some this weekend. I wish I had.
Do they have a category for full on not doing any CW, completely using the computer category?
This one is strictly CW.
No, I was just kidding because I don't do CW at all. Okay, let's see here. So that's about all that. The website of the week, we've done this one here once before, but I haven't done it in the newsletter yet, so I wanted to get it on there. This is my favorite app of all the amateur radio apps that are out there. This is my favorite app. It has all the stuff that you need to build antennas, to measure, but it's not just building antennas, it's circuitry. It's any kind of measurements that you need in ham radio. It's all right here. It even does grid square lookups and different things like that. This is a great app, and it's free. there's an upgrade for a couple of dollars that gives you some extra stuff that, quite frankly, most of us would never need. And so I love this app. I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention again. Gives you all the dimensions you need to build all the different kinds of antennas. And the neat thing is you put the frequency you want. Like if I'm building a Yagi to talk on the 685 repeater, which I do, I built one out here that just does nothing but that. I tuned it for the 685 repeater. I mean, it is exactly tuned on that frequency. That doesn't mean it doesn't work other places, but with this, I can get really close, and I make it just a little long, and then I come back with my tuner and trim it down. But you put your frequency in, and then it fills in all these holes for you, so you know exactly how big to make your antenna. So I suggest everybody gets that app. It's free. The link is in the newsletter. You go to the newsletter and scroll down to there. You just click link, and it's all right there. You guys know the rest of this stuff. I'm not going to belay everybody with it. Things are going good. We are going to start doing some stuff with the tech team hopefully soon. With Joseph moving away and my back going really bad on me, we just haven't done much with it lately, but we're going to get there. Okay, so that's that. Let's get back over to, where did it go? There it is. I don't really think there's actually much more on here either. No, there really is. Okay, I guess that's about it. Everybody in here pretty much got everything. The club repeater is back up. That 775 repeater is back up. And I guess that's about it. I'll open it up now to anybody, anywhere that has anything they'd like to bring up.
Anything else about the Hex Beam?
Yeah, anything.
I was just wondering how people got on last week on the SSSB contest.
Well, I did okay, I guess.
I think I made 8 or 10 on that.
Yeah, hold on.
I managed to get a few in.
Yeah, I managed to get a few. I wanted to get more, but let's see. I think I got my thing here somewhere. I don't know. I did okay. I think I got 70 contacts, but it wasn't. Oh, where is all my stuff at? Well, that's bizarre. Oh, okay, there we go. But yeah, it's pretty cool because you got all the different zones. I think there's like 86 different zones or something, and you got to try to get as many as you can get. And that's basically where I was with the whole thing. I was trying to just get one in each zone. That's pretty much what I was trying to do. I have a fun time when I'm working traffic jams. I like trying to get in. I don't actually like work them on the other side, but I like to try to get in. I like to try to, get into each traffic jam. So I had a good time with it. Did anybody else work it?
Yeah, I worked. I did about the same as you. I got 72 contacts.
Oh, you beat me.
But I was hunting just for sections. So I worked 54 sections.
Okay.
Which I was pleased with. But I was looking at the results on whatever that results page is. One team got all 84 in just under, it was 2 hours and 58 minutes, and they got all 84 sections. I got Hawaii. I didn't get Alaska, but I got Hawaii, and I got Hawaii on 40 meters. WH7Z. I got him on 40 meters, so I was very pleased about that. But I didn't really get... I got all of Canada. No, I didn't. I missed ONE, whatever that is. So I didn't actually complete a complete zone. But I got all the sections.
I don't think I did either. Here's this is what I got here. Let's see here. I can put it up on the screen, I think.
Well, I'd say it was fun. I didn't do much. I did a little bit on Saturday evening and a little bit Sunday morning and quite a bit Sunday afternoon through evening.
Yeah, you guys can see that. That was my totals there. I didn't run any of the zones either. I didn't get any of the full zones. but I got 40 out of 84. So,
Wow. Well, I got 54 out of 84. But my score, your score is 5,040. Mine is 7,776.
well, you got more malts than I did.
Yeah, that's all I did. All I went for the zones. I didn't.
Right.
I'd listen to a guy, and if it was the same, section, I would just move, and move. But I only worked 3 bands. I worked 40, 80, and 15. Oh, and 20. Not many on 20.
You know what
I only had
surprised
4.
You know what surprised
20.
me? Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, 20. 15 meters was the band I was on the most.
I did up there 15. I did a lot of 17, but I found 20 to be my go-to band for this one. When it comes to voice, I have good luck with 20. And you know what?
17,
Go ahead.
17 wasn't allowed, was it?
No, it was just
Oh,
10, 10,
See,
10,
15.
15 is the work bands,
yeah.
But yeah, no, it was I did 15, I believe it was 15 and then 20. 20 was my go-to. I did make some on 40 in the evening, but I'm going to tell you something that was weird about this whole thing. Um and that I thought it would go through the night and it didn't.
No.
It seemed to really die out. But then it sounded like some guys must have went through the night. And I know I don't have the best antenna. I probably couldn't hear a lot of them, but it was very surprising to me when I got up the next day and it's like 11 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, yeah, I'm log number 52 alpha. And the guy comes back, he goes, okay, I'm 1254 alpha or whatever. And I'm like, jeez, got 1,200 people in his log already.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
the first one I worked on, I was up a little earlier. I came on about 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. Well, I can tell you exactly when I came on. Oh, well, I can't. But anyway, he had 1679, and he was B as well.
that's crazy.
I did. Yeah, I did alpha.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I
I
did too.
did. Yeah, but it was fun. I mean, I didn't work it. I wish now, looking at the scores, there's this website that they post all the scores and all sorts of comments. I could have made a bigger effort, and I could have probably got up around the 30s and 40s without any real effort. But I just didn't do any. I didn't do CQing at all. I only hunted.
I only
So,
hunted. That's usually all I do is hunt.
But,
but
But
I
I
think
did
I
what
did hear you on at one point, right down there in the noise. But I heard someone calling your call sign. So
that's usually me.
yeah. So
I'll tell you honestly, voice is hard for me with my current configuration. That's another reason why I really want to get one of these antennas up there.
yeah.
I need to get out from under these trees.
well, I've only got a wire in the attic, so
Yeah.
don't worry about it. But anyway, yeah, the only contest I take really seriously is the Florida QSO party.
Yeah.
So no, I usually make a big effort for that one. But other than that, but it was fun. It was good. The weather
I
was
want to
nice,
do
and
Winter Field Day this year, but I don't know where I'm going to do it or how I'm going to do it.
well, we're doing ours down by the airport in Naples, just north of the airport in a industrial unit.
Hmm.
One of our guys, he makes street lights. So he's got a industrial unit where he makes street lights,
Oh, okay.
and we're using his foyer down there. So we put up a 3-element beam and an 80-meter dipole,
Nice.
and we just run 100 watts. But he's got, we got food and toilets, and we're indoors, so it's not too cold. You're quite welcome to join us. It's just straight down 75. You know where the airport is in Naples.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Off
on
Airport Bowling Road.
That's right, Horseshoe Drive. Oh, it's right by the RPM. You know RPM, the Motor Museum?
I've heard of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get down there much. I'm not a big fan of Naples, just with the traffic and everything. So,
Yeah, you tell me
not
about
that
it.
it's
But
much better here, but it's a little bit better here.
yeah. Okay, that's all I got. So
All
It was
right.
good.
Anybody have anything else they want to put in? Anybody anywhere? Come now. Wow, we're gonna have an early night. See what happens when Joseph's not here.
Yeah, maybe he'll be on next week.
Yeah, he probably will. I told him not to worry about this week. I got it.
Yeah,
He's in the middle of moving. Moving's a bitch.
tell me about it. I've done it twice in the last few years.
Oh God, I haven't done it in a while. But I don't want to do it again ever, 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 ever again. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else going on. Nothing really that I know of. Nope. Okay. Guys, it's awfully early. I hate to just go, but I don't know what else there is to talk about. It's been a long week for everybody, I think, with holiday and everything.
Yeah.
So I think we're just going to break early tonight, unless
Yeah.
anybody has anything else.
See you at the swap meet tomorrow.
I'm going to try. I can't promise. I'm
Yeah.
going to try. It's not, probably not, but I'm going to try. I
I'm
want
gonna go
to.
over there. I'm gonna go over there and look and see if I can find something I can use as a mast for my hex beam. So
Yeah. You just, you can always use PVC for the mast,
yeah, it's
and that's
probably 2 pounds
non-conductive.
because by the time I put the antenna and the rotor together, you've got something weighing 35 pounds. So that's
Well,
a
and
good.
that's true. I've got a tower that goes up 22 feet, and then I got a mast that only goes up 10 feet out of that, so
Yeah,
I can get away with it. But
yeah. If you got a
yeah,
tower to start out with, you're
The other thing is top rail. Fencing top rail.
yeah,
And if you want to go one step further, is this conduit that's threaded. It's got a
yeah,
spacer. Industrial conduit. It's like you can get it at Home Depot.
yeah,
I think that comes in 10 and 14-foot lengths. So you could have two lengths of that. That's what I used to mast up in PA when I was up there. Just two lengths of the big one, 28 feet before the rotator, and it's good stuff.
yeah.
That's the conduit. Not too expensive.
What's the outside diameter?
Um, 2.5 inches maybe.
Yeah,
That's the conduit. The top rail, which is the top rail for fencing, like they use it. Yeah, that's smaller.
yeah. It's smaller. I think it's 1.9. The rotator will take two, little over 2 inches. So
Yeah, you'd have to.
so the bigger stuff, I'd have to do some reducing. But
Yeah, yeah, but that's really economic,
yeah,
and it's good stuff for a mast.
yeah,
I've got a feeling the top tubing fits really well inside of the conduit.
hmm,
So you can put the conduit into the ground,
yeah,
hammer it in, and then you can take it in and out with ease. Or
yeah.
are you going to put the rotator at the bottom or the top?
I'm gonna put the rotator at the top.
Okay.
So that's what I
Yeah.
was saying. The total of the antenna weighs 25 pounds. The rotator, and I've weighed it, weighs around 10 pounds.
Yeah. Before I moved down here, I lived in PA, and I had three masts, but one was against the house. The other one was a proper Rowan mast, and the other was the conduit. And after taking it down, putting it up, taking it down, and everything a few times, I had all sorts of things up there. I ended up putting the rotator at the bottom, and it didn't make a slightest difference. And it was really easy for maintenance and changing things.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to guy it so hard as well. So, it's. But the rotator handled it well, and it wasn't an expensive one. It wasn't a tail twister or anything. It
Yeah,
wasn't even a Yaesu. It was I don't know. I picked it up used, but it worked.
yeah. I got a rotator at the swap meet here a couple of weeks ago. It's a CDE rotor. It's about I think it's either a TR44 or it's a Ham 3, but it's big enough. It's plenty big enough to run a hex beam.
Yeah, I think they'll. Yeah, Yeah. Well, the hex beam I'm thinking of getting is the buddy pole one
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I live in an HOA.
yeah,
But I was pricing the difference between the one that you got and the buddy pole one, and even though it's $5.99 and you think that's expensive, it's actually about the same because it comes fully equipped for all the bands, so you don't
yeah,
have to buy the extra cables. It
yeah.
comes with the
Difference is that the buddy pole one, and I looked at it, you can't leave it out all the time.
no,
My
no.
kitchen
It's designed as a like the rest of the buddy pole stuff.
yeah,
I talked to them. They said you probably could. I mean, it is you. It's not made of fiberglass. It's made of I don't know, UV treated something or other.
yeah.
So
It only weighs 9 point something pounds.
yes, which is a
Versus
plus if you're
25.
putting it up and down.
Yeah. So for a
Yeah,
portable rig, it's a good one.
yeah. I want to see it first. I'm hoping they'll take it to Hamcation so
Yeah,
I can have a really good look at it
yeah,
because I don't know what. There's no specs anywhere, and I want to know what size the tubing is and whatever because I'm going to have to put it up and take it down. I can put it up on a Friday afternoon and take it down on a Monday, or if there's a contest or good conditions, so I can leave it up for a few days.
yeah.
But the HOA aren't going to let me leave it up all the time, so
Yeah.
you know.
Well, 40's pretty busy. You know what I've been doing a lot lately on FT8 is um, during the day when 20 gets really busy, I go to FT4 and I've been finding a lot of people over there. And because there's a lot less people on the band in that particular spot on the band, you can actually get more distance. Um, I was on FT4 making like amazing contacts. So I just thought that was pretty cool that I was able to do that on FT4. And the reason is because FT8 was really busy because the band was doing really well. So by going to FT4, I was able to find a much clearer place. I don't know. I just
Yeah,
wanted to
won't
bring
be
that
many
up.
stations on.
Yeah, there's not as many FT4. Like if I right now, 7 is 40 meters is packed.
Yeah,
But if I go to FT4, I doubt anybody will be there because I never see anybody on there. Yeah, I don't see anybody on there. It's weird. It's like they don't use FT4 on 40, only on 20.
that's strange.
But let's see. Today on FT4, I managed to get Canada, Mexico, Italy, Germany, England, Australia this morning on FT4 on 14 megahertz. That was my first contact this morning after I got up.
What frequency do you use on FT4?
14080.
Oh, okay.
It should be the one that's preset in there.
Yeah, there's three. I've got three in there. Let me have a look for a second. Yeah, if I go to 40 meters. No. Oh, I see. You have to change it for. If you change it to FT8, then you get a different frequency.
Right, yeah.
But
When
yeah,
you change
okay.
modes, yeah, it changes the frequency.
Change mode. Oh, I got 7.74.5.
Oh, you're on 40 meters.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
I'm on
40.080. I got it. Yeah.
yes, 080, yeah.
I've never made any contacts on FP4.
Well, you're only going to find 20 meters FT4 for some reason, but that's 14080. You'll only find it when 20 meters is so busy for FT8 that you can't find a parking spot. Go to FT4, and there'll be people there. I've never seen anyone on FT4 on 17, on 15, on 12, on 40, on 80. Never.
I just switched it to 40 and I got 3 stations.
Okay, well,
One,
you're doing better than me.
one calling CQ from Spain, which is EA1 IOK, and I got EI1 FK. I'll get see if you got it. Are you on 40 meters?
Yeah. Well, okay. No, I'm on 20 right now. Let me go back to 40. 7.080. Mode FT4. Okay, I'm there. Okay, let's see.
I'm giving out a CQ. See if you can hear me.
Okay, here, let's do this. I want you to be able to see what I'm seeing here. There's what I'm seeing.
Okay, hold on. Oh, I can't share while you're sharing, so I'll show you what I got later.
Well, here, I can stop sharing. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I got someone returning my CQ call.
Well, there you go. See, my antenna
PD2 HAB, and I've just worked him.
PD2.
PD2 HAB. I just worked him. Let me show you my screen. Hang on. This gets complicated. This is fraught with disaster. Hang on, where are we? I've got to go to Zoom. I've got to go share screen. I've got to go to there and share. There you go.
PD2 HAB.
Oh, somebody else is calling me now. PDOWAG.
Wait, you're on 7.047. That's not what I'm even on.
Well, that's what it came up as.
Yeah, I was on 080. I don't know why. Let me see if I can hear you on this one now. Oh, hey, look, I'm hearing people now. Hey.
Yeah, it helps if you tune to the right frequency.
Well, I didn't realize there was two frequencies there. I never see anybody down here.
So where's PD? Because that's two PDs I've just worked.
I'm seeing
JO, so that's in Europe.
PD.
all I'm seeing is two stations in Spain.
Well, you can still see my window, can't you?
Yeah.
And I didn't even change my transmit frequency. There we go.
PA3PI, Netherlands.
Oh, okay, there you go. 100 watts. Oh, no, sorry. 60 watts and a bit of wire in the attic.
Yep.
Can't be bad, can it?
Nope.
No.
So you can't see me. Oh,
No,
and I'll call CQ again.
I'm tuning up here. Just give me a second.
Well, that's the first. I've never worked FT4 before. FP4 is quick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's half the speed of FD8.
Oh, I got two more people calling me now. I got someone in the US, WA5MD, and EA1FK. I guess there's nobody on. I was star. Oh no, I worked too.
Well, I find it better to work sometimes when you can find, because there's a clear spot. You know, and
Yeah.
sometimes you can't even find a clear spot to get on. All I'm getting is these two stations from Spain.
You can't see me?
Nope.
Well, you can see my screen. You can see what I've just worked 4 stations now. Well, I'm trying to work at EA1FK, but I don't know what's going on. It's giving me plus 11. I can't believe that. Oh, there we go. Got him.
Oh, now I got a Netherlands station coming up. I love working FT8, man. I like it because I can work this. I leave my alerts on, and I'll be sitting here working on something. It'll come up, new CQ zone, new whatever, new DXCC, and I'll know it's something I need, and I'll look over real quick and I'll get it.
Oh, I got a new one in Spain now. Oh no, that's the guy I just worked.
I'm looking for that EA1FK. I'm trying to call him.
EA1FK. He's calling CQ.
Right.
He's on 1222.
Here he is.
Give
He's
me
answering
plus.
me now.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
K off. Oh, so can I see you? Now, you're on the wrong side of the street. I can't see you. I can see him, and I can see you talking to him. He's giving you +3.
Yeah, but he can't hear me. Let me get my wattage up some more.
Yeah. -8. You give me +11. He's giving you... Oh, it looks like -8, but I'm not sure. +3.
But this is the other thing about FT4. It works in half the time of FT8.
Yeah.
You got to be on it, though. If you're going to pounce, you have half the time to pounce. There, I got him.
You got him? Good. Well, let me kill mine, and then we can see yours. There we go.
All right, I will call CQ now that you're just monitoring.
Okay.
That's it. I'm at 100 watts. And I just called CQ.
Now, I've got another guy from Spain. EA1IOK. Oh, no, it's the same one. No, here we go. Yeah, HA0AA from Hungary. It's calling -13. Let me see if I can get him.
All them people in Hungary, they're so close to Turkey. And the Grecianid's not far away either. Oh, I got all kinds of people calling me. Okay, this is PD2HAB.
Yeah, I worked him. I'm trying to work HA0AA or HA0AA now. Oh, yeah. We turned this into a contest all of our own.
Hey, when we run out of stuff to do, we just work FT8.
That's funny.
Why can't this guy?
Yeah, I got him. HA0AA. So I've got to call CQ again. What the hell?
Oh, there we go. I got it. This guy's 4,600 miles away. Netherlands.
Yeah, my mileage doesn't show.
You need to buy the QRZ data package. It's like $25. And when you do that, your picture comes up and all the other info comes up and everything.
Yeah, I got that. With well, that all goes into Grid Tracker.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the mileage in Grid Tracker. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
It's,
I was looking for the mileage on FT8.
yeah, I love Grid Tracker. I would not do this. I probably wouldn't even bother doing this without Grid Tracker. It does everything for me.
How'd you switch the woman off?
What, and make a die?
No, I can do that, but I want to switch her off all together. I don't want it keeping up and saying new square, new square.
Oh, well, you just turn all these off.
I just turn them all down.
Yep, just do that
okay.
right there. And
yeah.
It'll only alert on your alerts at that point.
Yeah.
I love those alerts. All right, let's see here. There's another one.
Yeah, it looks like we're working the same ones. I can't finish with HA0AA. I'm down at TX3 and he's dropped away.
Yeah, it's the band's changing.
Yeah, bands flittering in and out. But that was fun anyway. I never worked FT4 before.
What's cool is just like a new band, a new mode, you can contact all the same people again for a new contact.
Yeah.
So that's what's great about it. You'll when you first start working it, as you see, it's all a bunch of bright colors again.
Yeah.
It's all the fun colors again, and not all just the low colors. I changed my colors. I couldn't stand the color scheme, but
Yeah, I changed mine a little bit, but not a lot. So I
yeah,
haven't got that map is oh yeah, that's grid tracker map, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I don't zoom out as far as that. And I got mine the other way around. I use my graph at the top, but that doesn't matter. So yeah, I've been playing around with it. One of the real bonuses I've found is how to find, if you find a transmit frequency that's clean, you get better contacts
right.
quicker or easier.
So you can see here, I'll show you. This is what I got 3 screens on this computer. The left screen is my aircraft tracker, and the middle screen is both Grid Tracker and WSJTX, and the right screen is my logbook.
Yeah.
And that's my layout for that. That's my secondary computer, basically my radio computer.
Well, that's what I do, except I don't. I have my logbook as a separate. It's on the same screen, but it's behind the other two because I like them big. But I've only got one monitor on this one. I've got 2 monitors on the other one, but that's going to change. I'm going to get another monitor.
You know, there is no limit to the amount of monitors I need.
No.
I need more, but I'm doing good. I actually have 4 of them over there. I've been buying them I told you guys already, but I've bought a number of them now at thrift stores for $3 to $12.
Wow. So what are they? 1080p or?
Some of them. This one here, if you guys can see this one here that I actually run the FT8 program on. I've dialed into it on my main computer now, so I can show you guys what it looks like. But on this computer, that's those 3 screens, 1, 2, 3. On this one here, I bought this for $8. The price tag's still on it, $8. I bought it at a thrift store in Blairsville, Georgia, and this does 1900 resolution.
Wow.
So yeah, it's amazing. And I've got another one here that does 1900, but it's a little smaller screen. And then I got 2 smaller ones behind that I got for $3 and $4. So, and they all work.
1080p.
So, and then I got some little ones here, like this little one here was my wife's on her computer when I moved in here 10 years ago. So these things don't die, these flat panels, you just use them, just keep using it. So.
Oh, the other thing that doesn't die, FT8, FT4 doesn't time out.
It should still time out, but it's going to look like it spent twice as long before it timed out. But it really didn't, because you're running twice as many cycles.
You're running twice as fast. So basically, it's a time thing. It's not a amount of contacts.
Right, and that's set right here in settings and TX Watchdog. It's right here. 6 minutes is how I got mine set.
Okay.
That's on the first screen under General.
Yeah, I got mine at TX Watchdog 6 minutes.
I think that's the default.
Yeah.
I don't like my stuff running any longer than that without some intervention going on.
No, because you can.
Because if you don't get them in 5 or 6 minutes, you're not going to get them.
No.
So all you're doing is burning finals.
I don't think if you can't get them in 4 calls, I switch off. And then sometimes they'll call me back.
Yes.
After 4 calls. So I think I've got it about right. Well, that's on FT8. But You know, I'll do 4 calls and that's it. I
Well,
mean, I'll
to
keep
me, it's
him on
like
the
if
right
it's
hand on panel and I'll call him back maybe after 3
right.
or 4 minutes. I like to look to see what they're doing. If I see RR73 come up, then I'll quickly jump on him. But I don't see the point in keep calling him if he's chatting with somebody else, you know?
Yeah, that's me. And I also, if it's a local, like if it's someone in the country here or pretty close by, I'll call him 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 at the most. If it's an international and I'm really wanting him, I'll call him maybe 10 times. It depends. I mean, if I think I can get him. I just switched mine over to FT8, and man, there's a lot of people on here. Holy crap! Yeah. Well, there is a parking space though. Sicily, Spain, Austria, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Canada, Lithuania. So let's do
Yep.
Lithuania. Hello,
What's
hailing
that?
Lithuania.
LY2FN?
Yeah, yeah. I'm calling him right now.
I've got Italy, a new square for me. India Whiskey 9, Foxtrot Romeo Alpha. No, LY2FN is being called by N4YFD.
Yeah, he didn't. He's CQing. He didn't answer me.
No, he's talking to... oh, I've lost it. That's the trouble when the band's busy. It scrolls up so quick.
Do you have your CQ only box checked?
No.
Right here on the left side underneath
Oh,
on the
no,
very
because I find lots of calls that I want.
right.
Like
But
there's
when
one
it's
here.
busy, I use the CQ only. When it's
Oh, yeah,
not
that's a good
busy, then
idea.
I'll turn it back off.
Yeah, because I was looking at one there, but it's gone. It was US7. Yeah, US7 VF. I don't know where that is, but it looks like an interesting call. I would give him a call. I've never seen a US. I mean, that's got to be Russia, I guess. Yeah, I've only got 2 states to work on 15 meters. That's Mississippi and Hawaii.
I had a hard time with Hawaii, but my hardest one was Alaska.
Oh, I did that early on. Alaska, I got quite a few up in Alaska. I had a nice one the other day in, oh, I'm looking on the wrong band, in CP Square up in the Northeast Territories. I've
Well,
only
I
got
got a
one
Windows
contact.
update. My backup
Oh,
computer back here just went into a Windows update, so I just scrammed that down. Now I got to deal with that.
yeah, I switched those off.
I can't switch it off. I just rebooted that one, and I haven't had time to go in and do all the things I have to do to keep it from updating, and it just went into an update again. I'm like, Jesus, I hate
Yeah,
Windows. It's still better than Apple, but I hate Windows.
I'll argue with you there, but
Well, I have no problem with Apple equipment. I have a problem with the fact that it's so proprietary. At least Windows is about halfway between Linux and Apple when it comes to being proprietary. See, there's so many people on 20, nobody can hear me. I run into this problem a lot. I've tried calling 2 or 3 people here, nobody can answer me, and the reason is because there's just so many people on here, nobody can hear me.
yeah. Well, they've got a secondary frequency on 20.
Well, I'm on 40.
Because on 15 they got a secondary frequency. They got 074 as well as 090. On 50 they got 313, and on 6 meters they got 313 and 323 now. 2 meters they got 120 and 174.
Yeah, but nobody's on any of those.
Well,
Not doing
obviously
that.
they are, because they're opening them up. I must admit, I did go up and listen to 2 meters the other day, and there was quite a few stations on. But that was, that FT8 trial thing or whatever it was, test. Oh, wrong one. I'm trying the Lithuanian one.
Well, I went back to FT8. I'm going to see, or FT4, I mean.
Oh, you went back to FT4, okay.
Well, I'm just looking to see if anybody's come back over here.
Yeah, so until this evening, I'd never worked FT4.
I wish I knew what to do with these other modes. There's all these other modes I've never been able to make hide nor tear, hail, or what's it even do with them?
Well,
Oh, there's one person here, but he's calling DX. I got to tell you, that aggravates the crap out of me.
What?
It's one of those weird things that just, I understand it, I get it, but it's like if someone calls DX, then basically that means I want to talk to anybody but you.
Well, yeah, but I do that. I put JA, like 4:30 through to about 5:30, 5:35 or something like that at the moment. I'll put CQJA because, otherwise you're going to get tied up with everybody calling you, and you've got such a small window with the grey line.
Right.
I mean, I got a bunch of JAs this evening, but I call CQJA and they come back. What annoys me from the other thing is if I call, because when I'm state hunting, if I put, say, CQDE or something, I still get everybody and their mother calling me. They just ignore it. In fact, quite often, if I call CQ, I don't get anybody. But if I call CQ, something specific, I'll get 2 or 3 people calling me. And none of those are from the specific area that I asked for. But I've been trying to work states.
I don't mind people calling specific areas if you're trying to get a specific state or something. I just hate people that all they ever do is call DX. Like, this guy, I haven't got him. But I probably never will, because all he does is call DX.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll still answer people. If I say, I've got DE, because I still need Delaware. If I call CQDE, and then somebody else comes back, I'll go back to them, because it only takes like a few seconds. But I know some people totally ignore you. But it takes all sorts, doesn't it?
All right, guys. Is there anything else tonight we can think of before we clear out of here? Yeah, I'm pretty tired tonight, guys. It's been a long day.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So. Yep. I don't even know. I might tune up to 80 and see what's going on up there. I have better luck on 80 late at night. I don't know why. I can't figure out why some days my wire likes 17, 15, and 12, and other days my wire likes 10, 20, 40, and 80.
Condensation, humidity.
Must be
something. I know that all that does change my SWR, and it does change it a little bit, but this is weird. Some days it literally will hardly tune to some bands. Other days it'll hardly tune to other bands. Like today, I could not get it to tune to 17 at all. I couldn't get it anywhere close enough to even use. But it dialed right up to 40 and 20 and no problem today.
Did you hear that? Did you read that article in our newsletter, the one about resonance?
No, I did not, but I need to.
Okay, if you read that, that will explain it. Well, it'll burn your brain, but if you sit there and try to go through it, it'll explain basically, you need to change the frequency by nothing, and You know, the resonance has gone to pieces and everything. It was quite interesting. So, all right, well, I'm going to say good night. Thanks a lot, Ian, for this. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Hopefully when I get my hex beam done, then I can make some pictures and show you what it looks like.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I'm probably going to build me a small one just to play around with.
Yeah, I'd get started in it, but
Because
I
I can't afford it.
yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, you don't get them down here, but you get them up north. And if you know somebody up there, or you may be able to order them from Home Depot, the poles that you put down your drive, you know, like in Pennsylvania, we get 4 to 5 feet of snow every year. So you put a pole, these red fiberglass tubes that you push down into your lawn, and then when it snows, you can still see where your drive is. And you buy them in Home Depot for nothing. I think they were like $3 each.
Right.
And they would do the job. Because they were, you know, they would bend, but they were fairly strong. So I don't know if ever you go up north or you know anybody up there, or maybe Home Depot will order them for you. They're, I think they're just called driveway markers. But they're fiberglass. They're really strong. You can drive over them and they just spring back up.
Those would work. They probably be long enough to you 10 and 12 anyway.
Yeah. Well, you could sleeve them. You could, you know, just get some fiberglass web in and.
How long are they?
They're pretty tall. I mean, I'm going to say. I mean, we get 4 to 5 feet of snow. You push them into the ground probably a foot, and they're still 2 feet above that at least. Yeah. So I'm going to say they got to be 8 feet.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm guessing they're something like that. You can get smaller ones. I'm trying to think. I left mine. I'm kicking myself because I had probably 20 of them. You know, a couple broke off and I put them. But they're fiberglass.
Yeah.
So you could join 2 together literally just by wrapping fiberglass webbing around them. Oh, good evening, Joseph.
Hey, look who's here.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I was in the car all day, and I just now got back to the house a few minutes ago. So I'm back in Florida now for the next 2 or 3 days.
Oh, you're back.
Yep. Well, we're gonna be coming back a few more times.
Wow.
But I just want to hop in here, say hello to everybody. Ian was looking like he was gonna fall asleep on the stream, so I had to.
You almost missed us. I was about ready to end this thing like literally moments ago.
Yeah.
And then I was going to end it 20 minutes ago, and then we started playing with FT4 and making contacts on FT4.
Trying to hear each other.
We screwed with that for 25 minutes just because I wanted to get past 10 o'clock. No, the old timers weren't doing good without you tonight, Joseph, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Falling asleep in here. But no, the hex beam discussion went very well. And
good. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the stream.
Yeah, no, it was good. That's slowly becoming my favorite antenna. And Rick bought me one over there.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for him to drop that off at my house. So
Yeah. Right.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah. He's gonna be putting one up over there. So
Yeah, at his place.
Yeah, place.
Yeah, he's putting one at his. He's bought the stuff. He's building one out there.
Yeah. So
Wow, that's awesome. You'll have to let me know how well those work. I helped set up one of those
anyway
on field day.
So what's this? Yeah, well, I think I'll probably get the Buddy Pole one after, or Buddy Hex, after I see it. I want to see it first, because I kind of got this feeling it almost sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, you want to take a look at it.
Yeah. So and that one will be.
Turn on the outside lights.
And there's several places online about building them. So you can look at YF1AR is another one that built one. Yankee Foxtrot 1 Alpha Romeo. I'm trying to remember where he was.
There we go.
Indonesia or someplace. He built one.
Right. And just remember that the build for the one I talked about
Yep.
on here is on the downloads page.
Yeah.
Sure
And I'm
seems
gonna,
like a complicated thing to try and build yourself, though.
Yeah.
With
it
the
is.
you have to make it a weird shape.
the answer to that would be yes. No, well, it's one of those things. If you build it properly in the right steps, it makes its own shape. It does its own thing. Um, but no, it's not an easy thing to build. But then again, if you buy the kit with everything that's already cut and made exactly for it, I bet you it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
It's more
Well,
like
there
an
was,
erector set with directions.
there
Yeah.
was a at last field day. I helped N8GU set up his multiband hex beam. I think that one was like a prototype he got from somebody. But I helped him set up one of those, and it took a long time to set up, and it was even with pre-made parts and everything. But I guess that was just for field day. It doesn't matter if it's being set up at your house; you don't have to take it up and down a bunch. But it was
Right.
really complicated, even with a custom-made kit. But if you're only doing one band, then you only have one set of wires, so it's not as bad. He had like 5 different
This
sets
one.
of wires that had to be threaded through.
Oh, and by the way, Joseph, I found designs for an 11-meter one too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I thought that'd be kind of cool.
Remember, these are horizontally polarized.
Well, this would be This would be considered vertically polarized. I'm pretty sure,
Really?
right?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be vertical. Really? No, wait, it wouldn't.
No, it'd be
It wouldn't.
horizontally polarized.
It's horizontally, yeah.
Yeah, because it's just a Yagi that's been folded up at 90 at angles.
Yeah.
It's basically a wire Yagi that's, like you said, folded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know that until I saw your email with the news PDF thing.
I'll tell you what, it's very similar to a Moxon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but this folded a little differently, but the idea is just very similar.
Somewhat similar. In fact, I wonder if you could actually build a Moxon, a multi-band. I don't know if those would interact if you put them together.
I don't know if I've ever seen a multi-band Moxon.
I've got a 2-band Moxon that I built
Really?
70 sems and 2 meters, but they're at 90 degrees opposed to each other.
Okay.
So
yeah.
outside is the 2-meter one, and they're vertically polarized because the 2 repeaters that I use the most down here are both 90 degrees from me. So I put 70 sems one in one direction, 90 degrees. I put the 2-meter one, and they're both inside. One's inside the other, but it's small stuff, but they work okay. They definitely work better than a dipole, but how much better, I don't know.
I gotta say, yesterday I did my first FT8 contact, and we have confirmation that you have to make a contact for the colors in WSJTX to start working.
Yeah.
Because with no ADIF file, it has no way to reference if you've gotten a contact in a location before, and so it can't give you any colors telling you if it's a new zone or a new call. So once I made a contact, it generated the file. Then all the colors started to work.
Can't you
And then-
load
and
that
then you-
file?
What?
Sorry, can't you load that file? There's a file like a dummy file in ST8.
Oh, is there? I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know there's like a samples folder, but I didn't see an ADIF file in there. It's got like a .log file in there or something, but no ADIF file. It needs the ADIF file, and it only generates that when you make a contact.
Did you, since you made your contact and it created that file, were you able to find it and then send it to QRZ?
Yes, I was.
Perfect. So now you're logging to QRZ. That's awesome.
Yep, I got to upload the file every time I got to upload the file manually. But
I did it that way for the longest time, Joseph, and then I finally paid the $30 or whatever to get the QRZ data package. I probably wouldn't get the data package if it was just because of the file, but it also adds pictures and all the information and comes up with the people when you contact them. I really like that. So
yeah,
I like it, so I'm going to keep using it. But you don't need it necessarily, because all you do is the last thing you do each night when you close down the system is you just upload your file to QRZ
Yeah.
and go to bed.
Yeah.
And then also, once you do that, once you get your logbook of the world file set up, then there's another button there to just send it all over to logbook of the world and be done with that too.
I don't know. That was another thing I tried to mess with.
All I know,
was
Joseph, is you're making me tired. I'm
Yeah,
really,
I know. It's like he's in a maze, you know. He keeps going round and round and round.
Yeah, this house has got there's obstacles in the way. We got to jump over pits and things. No, I made a few contacts. My solution was to just set my headphones on top of the microphone, and then the 44ES actually has a button on the side of it to transmit and receive.
There you go.
I wait for it to start making noise, and I'd hit the button on the side of the radio. And I made so many. I didn't do it for very long, but I was able to make contacts with most of everybody who I attempted to make contact with.
Have you tried using the Vox setting on the radio? Does it have
I don't
it?
have Vox.
No Vox?
I don't think so. I do need to get a cable for the back of it. It has an input on there. It actually there's a couple guides online on how to set this radio up with rig control and audio input output and all the modern radio stuff. It's actually really easy to do. You have to have a cable, and I think you have to buy like this little computer chip to stick on a slot inside the control head. But it has capability to do all that stuff. I just don't have that equipment yet. So yeah, no Vox. I would just manually key it. And it worked really well. I was running a G5RV Lite, which I thought was broken before, but it turns out you just can't run ladder line along the ground, which is what I had done previously. So once I got it up off the ground, that solved the problem, tuned right up, and worked great.
I learned that one the hard way too.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, this might be a good thing for the Friday night, especially for you, Joseph. The UART chip that we were talking about when I was trying to get my Linux to talk to my machine, you can buy that assembled now off of eBay for $2. The UART chip, so you can make your own cable to program all your handhelds and everything else. And the little device is $2. I'll send you all the info. I might get one.
The UART.
It's that UART chip, that converts from USB to
serial.
Yeah. So you don't have to buy these expensive cables anymore. You can get the whole little doobry. Just got a USB socket on it, or plug. They're both the same. For $2. I'll dig out the information in the morning, but I'm getting tired now, so I'm going to say good night to you all, and I'll send the info to you and Ian.
Yes, please do. And
Right,
yeah,
Ian.
I'm going to get going too. Is there anybody that wants to stay on? I'll turn it over to you. But I'm done. Joseph looks like he's busy, and I think everybody's done. So we're going to go ahead and end it tonight, guys. I'm going to turn off the YouTube.